go. This is 7.3. Chase, that's enough. All right, here we go, 7.3. We're talking about exponents. Raised. Hey, enough. Raised. Exponents raised to exponents. All right, so this rule. Okay. All right, so for this rule, let's first revisit our other rules very quickly. If we have x to the 0, that equals 1, right? When we have x to the negative n, that equals 1 over x to the positive n.
We have exponents raised to another exponent.
Okay, well, just listen. Next one we had was x to the n times by x to the m, and we kept the base and we added the exponents, right? So now our new rule today, if I have x to the n raised to the m, we multiply our exponents. So this becomes x to the nn. We're just going to multiply. So an exponent raised to an exponent, you multiply. Because what this really says, let's do it this way. For example, if I have b squared raised to the third, that is the same as b squared times b squared times b squared. And in our last rule, we added our exponents, right? So we kept the base and added our exponents, and we got 2, 4, 6. So if we just go ahead and multiply these guys together, it's a shortcut. It's less work. And I know y'all like less work, right? All right. So let's see what we can do with this rule. Example number 1. We're going to simplify. And the first section's actually pretty easy. We're listening to that rule. And so 10 through 20, let's start with those. All right. So in 10 through 20, let's say I have a to the 4th raised to the 5th. A to the 20. I agree with you, Curtis. That's good. Okay, we just multiply our exponents. What if I had x to the 4th raised to the 3rd? Oops, that's a 3. Yes, x to the 12th. All right, now I'm going to add just a little bit more. What if I had x to the 3rd raised to the negative 2? X to the negative 6, and then what do we have to do? Very good, Tommy. 1 over x to the 6th. Right? So first you multiply your exponents, and then you have to simplify it, right? Okay. All right, let's keep going. So another example from this section is what if I had k to the 3rd, times by k to the 4th raised to the 5th. So we actually have 2 different rules going on here. We have to do our last rule first. So if you have an exponent raised to an exponent, you have to do that one first. So in this case, we're still going to have k to the 3rd, because that's not raised to an exponent, and we're timesing it by k, multiplying our exponents to the 20. Nope. Now, in this one, now they're timesing together. So what do you do to your exponents? You say it again. Yes. So when you have an exponent raised to an exponent, you multiply. So then now we have exponents that we have to add. So we get 23. Exactly. Okay? All right. Let's Let's do one more like this one. Huh? All right, say I have n to the fourth times by n to the second, or to the negative 2 raised to the fourth. All right, so first we start here, right? So I still have n to the fourth. We're going to times it by?
-8.
Yes, n to the negative 8. Then what do we do? Add our exponents. We get n to the what? And then what do we have to do? Put it under 1, yes. We have to move this n to the bottom, and our exponent becomes positive. Questions so far?
How many examples are today, Michelle?
I don't know. We'll see. Sample number 2. Again, this is simplify.
20 through 40, right?
Huh? Not quite. We're going to go 22 through 32 next.
22.
Yep. All right. We're simplifying now. We have to add a little bit more to what we had. What did I not include in the last ones? I didn't include coefficients, did I? So, let's talk about a coefficient. If I have a coefficient inside the parenthesis, and then this is raised to the fourth, you have to give that 4 on the outside to the 3 and to the a to the second. Kind of like distributing. You got to give it to both. What?
Because it's in the parentheses.
Right. You got to give it to everything. What is, this is an exponent, so what does that mean? It actually means we have 3 to the fourth, a to the eighth I agree with. This is an exponent, so we have to put the exponent on 3 and the exponent on a to the second, right? So then I got to simplify 3 to the fourth, which is what, Ben? Good. So this becomes 81, a to the eighth. Whoa, where'd that go to? There we go. Yes. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say I have a coefficient of 2, b to the third raised to the second. So again, I have to give that outside exponent to everything inside the parentheses.
2 over 2, b to the 6.
2 to the 2, b to the 6, I agree. And then I have to simplify that 4, b to the 6. Very good. Oh, where'd my 6 go? It disappeared. Hold on. Okay. All right. Make it just a little harder. Are we ready? We can do it. How about this one? Say I have 3 x to the negative 2 raised to the negative 3. Distribute. I agree, Chase. So that means I'm going to have 3 to the negative 3. X to the what? Yes. X to the 6. Anybody have a question on that step? All right. So now what do we have to do next? We have a negative exponent. So what does that mean we do? Put it in the dungeon. Yes, I agree. So just this term is going to move to the bottom, right? So we have x to the 6 over 3 to the positive 3. And then if we simplify that, we get x to the 6 over 27.
So it's basically just adding an extra step for...
Yes, depending, because it's going to start to put all of your rules in there, and you got to pay attention to all of them. No.
They're boring. They seem like bumps.
All right, how about this one? Are you guys ready? How about, I can make it example number 3. It's not the next problems, though. So we're still saying simplify. Still in the same problems, 22 through 32. All right. How about x squared times by 4 x to the third raised to the second? Yeah, we have to do the exponent outside the parenthesis first. We need to get rid of the parentheses. That's step number one. We're going to have x squared times by, this 2 has to go to the 4, so we have 4 squared. And then we have x to the 6. Okay. Now, starting with our coefficient, what's 4 squared?
16.
Good. And then I have a base of 6, so what do I do with my exponents? Add. Good. You add them. When we are timesing two things together, you add your exponents. So you have a total of 8. Yes, we added this 2 with that 6. All right. And let's do, don't panic as I write this down. It's going to be okay. This is still part of example 3. 3b to the negative 2 raised to the 2 times by, just a minute, in parentheses, we're going to do a to the second, b to the fourth, raised to the third. All right. It really isn't that bad. Let's take it step by step. So both parentheses have an exponent outside of them, right? So we're going to start there. So we're going to distribute this 2 to everything on the inside. 3 to the second. No, it's not. That's positive. It's all right. And then b to the negative 4 times. So the next section, we got to distribute that 3 to everything inside. Good? Good. b to the 12. Totally agree. All right. Now, we're going to multiply two things together, which is what we did yesterday. So we start with the coefficient. I have a coefficient of 3 squared. What is that? 9. Good. Then alphabetically, we have bases A and B. So we're going to start with A. Do we have any other A's other than A to the 6? No. So we have A to the 6. Then we have B. What do we do with our exponents? We add them together. So, yes, we add our exponents. So we get B to the 8th. That's it. So it looks ugly, but if you take it by steps, it makes it a lot simpler. Not yet. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Example number 4. All right, this is going to cover your 34 through 40. All right, you're going to love this. What about something like this? How about 4 times 10 to the 3rd raised to the 2nd? No, this is not that bad. 4 to the 2nd. Good. Times 10 to the 6th. Whoops, there you go. Then 4 to the 2nd is 16 times 10 to the 6th. Let's try that again. No, it is not. What are you doing? 16. Good. All right. Hold on. Let me get this up here. It's not letting me write. So 16 is too big, which means we have to move it over 1. Good. And add 1. I agree. Correct. Correct. All right, one more and then I'll shut up. How's that sound? It's all right. I get it. How about 3.5 times 10 to the negative 4 times by 3, or raised to the 3rd. So we have to take that 3 to the 3.5 times by 10, multiply your exponents. Good. All right, now, somebody grab a calculator, type in 3.5 raised to the 3rd. What is it, Ben? I'm sorry. 42.875 times 10 to the negative 12. Is that number between 1 and 10?
No, you gotta move it over 1.
Good.
And then you add 1, which
Good.
is 10 to the negative 1.
To what? So let's go 4.285 I can live with that. Times 10 to the negative 11.
We're done.
Yes. Any questions?
Yes. No. Oh, man. Can we take down the clock?
If you take down that clock and there's no battery in it, oh, I better turn this off, by the way.